Before I tidy up to the end of the night, I would like to ask, well, firstly, I'd like to thank all of our panellists. I think they've been brilliant tonight, and we certainly appreciate their time. But before we let any of them go, I would like just to pose a question. And if you could give, and maybe this to you first, Dimity, because you're the veteran of the panel. If you could give a younger version of yourself one bit of advice, what would it be?
I remember seeing this quote, I don't know, it could have been on YouTube or maybe in a podcast or something like that, probably over a year ago now, and it said, thoughts are not facts. And, you know, when you have anxiety, your mind is, you know, playing out past experiences, encounters with people, situations that haven't even happened yet. And anxiety thinks about the most negative outcomes possible. So I think it's, you know, like if you're getting flustered about something that you did, like, you know, write it down. Once you write something down, I always find I don't think about it anymore because it's on the paper, it's out of my brain, it's gone. But yeah, just remember, thoughts are not facts.
This one's a hard one for me because what would I tell my younger self now? I enjoyed my younger self. I probably wouldn't change anything about my younger self now. My older self, though, I would probably say, be more like your younger self. So that's what's for me because, yeah, my younger self was good, but tell the older self to be better.
I'll leave Dorinda to last. I wrote this down, but I'll try and remember. It was just a thought I had during the evening, so it's probably a good time to put it in. But I think for me, looking back at my experience, but certainly a bit like Beck, more so what I can control now, was relationships. In my mind, 100% the cornerstone of mental health. And that's work, family, colleagues, sport, pastimes. So build relationships or create them, build them, you know, foster them, work on them, don't forget them. And most of all, one thing I'll never forget is treasure them. Because a mate of mine texted me tonight before this, and he was one of the people that did not leave me alone when he knew I wasn't well. So that's something I don't think you can ever underestimate, but we do all the time. I think sometimes we're so conscious of leaping to the next best thing and having something everyone else has got, where more often than not we could have someone across the table from us that's the most important person in our world.
I love what Dimity said as well, and we do say that to kids because they're very good at catastrophising things. So we often say, put the proof in our hands that that's actually going to happen, and if you can't do that, then we need to move on. But I think for me, it's focus on what you can control. I do too, sometimes you get really anxious about what other people are going to do and say and feel, and we actually have no real control over that. So why are we, you know, putting ourselves through the ringer, I suppose? So it's definitely focus more on what you have control over rather than what you don't, because you'll go mad.
That draws us to the end of our evening. Now, I want to say a couple of points just as a closer. Certainly, nights and events such as these, Tracy mentioned earlier about them being somewhat confronting for others. So we often find, please take tomorrow, give yourself the opportunity to debrief and just take stock of some of the content that we've heard this evening. I would like to thank certainly everyone for attending. We realise it's out of hours, it is a school night, but we certainly hope that people take something from this. I know the intent and outcomes will be different for everyone in the room, but realistically our I suppose our remit or our goal was to stimulate the conversation, certainly show that there's lots of great supports and great people within our community within this space, as long as we just keep promoting that concept. So certainly thank you everyone for coming out. I would like to thank our speakers. They put their heart in their sleeve and they have represented themselves wonderfully. So can I please ask a round of applause for our speakers? Thank you very much. I would like to finally thank our sponsors, so certainly Headspace, Moama Pharmacy, Coolabah Turf, and also the ERH, or Echuca Regional Health Mental Health Team, have been wonderful supporters of this event now in its second year, so thank you very much. I would, last but not least, like to thank Tracey Farrell. Trace stepped into this role on very short notice, and I think everyone would agree we did it with aplomb. I think it's a role she could probably take up in the future quite comfortably, so thank you, Trace. Last but not least, please thank to the Moama Bowling Club. For anyone that's been to an event here, they do a wonderful job. They provide this space free of charge for these events, so certainly very much thank you to Penny and her team at the Bowling Club. Otherwise, please, on behalf of our crew here, please drive safe. Thank you for attending and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.